Chris Jinnock here at 2014 CES. I'm in the Dolby suite where I've just had a nice conversation with Guido Voltolina talking about 3D. This is the Dolby 3D suite in particular, where they've got actually 5 or 6 displays here from different manufacturers showing about new versions of Autostereoscopic multi-view 3D. In back of me is a particularly compelling product. This is a panel from BOE, one of the biggest Chinese panel fabs. It's a 4K native panel. It's a 55-inch device. And instead of putting a lenticular design on top of this, they've actually gone with a parallax barrier. That allows the barrier, it's a switchable barrier, so it can be turned on or off. When it's off, then this thing is basically a native 4K display with no impact on image quality. When you want to run it in autostereoscopic 3D mode, you turn on the barrier. It does reduce the brightness, but they've actually built in a lot of backlight power into this. So in 2D mode, it's about 800 nits. In 3D mode, it's 350 nits. This is a very brightly lit room. This is perfectly adequate for viewing. So this is a kind of an example of a no trade-off autostereoscopic 3D TV, because you got again the native 4K and 2D, and very close to full HD resolution per zone in 3D mode. And because this is a 55-inch panel, 4K, prices are going to be very aggressive on this panel size, and there are already announcements for this panel to be used by Changhong and by, who was the other one? Another Chinese maker in the China market for this year. So I would not be surprised to see other manufacturers taking this panel up and bringing similar products to the North American and European market as well. Image quality is good. It still has some of the same trade-offs that you're going to have with a barrier or lenticular design. You have viewing zone transitions that you can see. It's reduced depth volume compared to a glasses-based solution. But I think the good news is that time is going to fix that problem quite readily. Basically, by adding more pixels to the display, you can start to eliminate those transition problems. You can minimize and expand the depth volume, and so the picture quality will go up. And so an 8K panel, for example, will go a long way to really improving the deficits of this current generation. Now, that may be fine because in essence, in a few years, pixels will be much cheaper. And so even though there won't be 8K native content and you won't really run this as an 8K TV, the fact that you can have 4K native content run on in 4 or 8K resolution and have very high quality autostereoscopic 3D could be clearly a very compelling proposition. Now, Dolby 3D is not in the business of making TVs. They have a format, the Dolby 3D format, that they are trying to get basically commercial companies to license and to push the autostereoscopic content into the consumer market. Now, the way this format works, it's basically a wrapper that takes the left eye and the right eye, as well as the depth map and other metadata, if available, wraps it all up into a very nice package, and that can then be distributed basically over the top, which will be the first implementation of this. Now, they've actually shown this capability before. Almost a year ago, they had a demo where they worked with Voodoo and Akamai to create a menu and deliver content that was mastered in this Dolby 3D format and distributed over the top to some TVs. So they've kind of proved that this can work. There's clearly no broadcast standard right now to do that, but over the top can solve this problem fairly readily. And so they're actually working with some of the studios right now to have them go back and look at some of the assets that they already have to repackage or redeliver those assets with not only the left eye and right eye, but with the original depth map that went with that movie, and metadata if available, so it can again all be wrapped up in this Dolby 3D format to enable a delivery service for autostereoscopic 3D TVs as they come to the market. So, you know, with most of these technologies, it's kind of a chicken and egg thing. You know, which is going to come first: high quality 3D displays, autostereoscopic displays, or the content to deliver it. And I think both of them are advancing fairly well at this point. So I would not be surprised to see some very significant advancements in 2014 on this front. That's the main message here from the Dolby 3D suite. Chris Chinnock for Display Central.